Hey, Brandon, pour me another one.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey. Check. Man.
Mama.
What's your mic? Like, what's your mic check? Sound during sound check.
Don't do no dance. I don't know. I just sing my song, bro. My mic sounds nice. Check one.
It always works. I definitely am like a check 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You always got to land back to the 1.
My mic sounds nice. Check 2.
Yeah, I might have to start doing that because it's a little vocal in there, so they can get it. Then yeah.
It's a little vocal in there.
Man, what's up, y'all? What's going on? What's up, Whiskey Wednesday Pod Squad? What's going on, y'all?
Man, y'all been ducking us, man. It's really getting out of hand. We back though. I'm not playing these games with y'all.
Tired of it.
I'm sick of it.
And wear your mask. Man,
we keep going back and forth with COVID, bro. Like a toxic ex.
Yeah, COVID.
Just going back and forth. Wear your mask. Don't wear your mask.
COVID is over here and it's over there. You want it in you.
I'm dead.
Get anything you can handle. That song is nuts. First of all, hold on. Freak a Leak is insane. Hold on. Let me pull these lyrics up to Freak a Leak because this is sick. The fact that we were listening to this.
How did you get here, man? How did we just get here?
Freak a Leak. First, let's start with the fact.
Monique. Christina.
Denise. Hey. The fact that this is a song. Hold on, man. Let me see these full lyrics real quick. First of all, he's at the radio station, right? Let's take some calls from the request line. That's how the song started off. Call number 1. So hold on. He said 24, 34, 30. Wait, hold on. 24, 34, 46. Good and thick. What you give, she'll work with.
Yeah, work with.
Pretty face and some cute lips. Earring in her tongue, and she know what to do.
What to do with it.
You are one sick individual. Make a name for herself, and she do it well.
Why you reading like somebody uncle?
Because I might have.
What's going on, nephew? He sound like Jerome.
The thing is, Petey Pablo sounds like Uncle Jerome now.
Oh my god.
Yeah. This is crazy. I'm looking at these lyrics, man.
You know who else? First of all, before I get to who else used to rap crazy like that, he had that song. He had the North Carolina joint. Go on and raise up.
Yeah, that one was all right.
That beat was insane when that came out. I was like, oh, they pushing that man. I was like 8, and I was like, this just a banger.
Yeah.
But the joint that never released, or maybe it was on the soundtrack where he performed on Drumline.
That's crazy. Anybody have none? Y'all wouldn't listen to me. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, and the other person, I'm dead already. The other person who was insane was Mystikal.
Yeah. They could have been cousins.
Insanity.
Yeah, they could have been cousins for sure. Yeah, man.
Danger!
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how we got here. But imagine if Petey Pablo and Mystikal did a song together.
You're beside yourself. I know. But go ahead, though.
Yeah. Because that's how I vote.
That's just what I do.
Yeah, that's just what I do.
What was he talking about? Full grown jumping stepping.
You Mr. Get Stepping. Yo, the stuff we used to listen to, man. That's why we can't even like get mad at the newer music now.
Nah, we still get mad.
Yeah, we can. We can.
But I understand.
Yeah.
Oh man. They don't mess with me and they don't.
I don't know how we got here. Freak a Leak is sick.
What you call it? The Usher's, the demo version of it by Sean Garrett was to that beat. I think that's how we we're gonna get here. Y'all didn't hear that, it was off mic, but we were discussing that the demo version of one of Usher's biggest hits, probably his biggest, honestly.
Yeah, I can say that.
The demo version was to the Freaky beat and Sean Garrett singing. Sean Garrett the Pan.
Yeah, Sean Garrett's a beast. I saw that verses was so funny to me. He was definitely lit.
Understatement.
Yeah, but the fact that he was just firing off hits like that for some of the biggest names ever.
Who was he? Is that the one he was up against the Dream?
Yeah, he was firing off songs about Beyonce and just
you know how highly people regard the Dream. So the fact that the fact that Swiss and Timbaland were willing to put those two together lets you really know what caliber Sean Garrett is. Yeah,
and then Neo went against. Is his name pronounced Jonte? Jonta.
It might be Jonta, the legend.
Yeah, but I mean, these are just people that just have crazy pens. I was listening to some Neil the other day, and sometimes I think we forget how great of a writer he is.
Yeah, he had a good run as a solo artist,
and not just for himself. Like he was writing songs for other people too. Like
love the songs he made for others.
Yeah,
he get a Beyonce check. I'm sure every quarter.
To the left.
Wow.
Anyway, y'all. So Pod Squad, we're back, y'all. We stepped away. Both of us were doing some traveling. We actually linked up out west. Both of us were in LA for a little bit.
Yeah.
How'd you like LA?
I loved it, bro. Some of the best fun I ever had. Some of the best fun I ever had. It's such a quiet place. I think that being my first time being in LA. I think LA, how they say it on Snowfall. LA. Leon, what's his name? Peaches, get the core.
Peaches.
Man, what a show. The final season is coming up next season. They're not paying us for this ad, but it's just that good of a show. Shout out to FX. FX has amazing shows.
It does. It does.
But I had a great time there. Sometimes if you've never been to LA, you might assume that it's like busy and hustle and bustle like New York is, as if it's New York on the West Coast. And it's not. It's so spread out. You know what I mean? It's such a large place.
Yeah.
That it's very quiet, very peaceful there. You got to kind of know where the action is in order for you to get into some action. You can see the mountains from anywhere.
Yeah.
I loved it there. So I had a great time. I was only supposed to be there for maybe like 6 days. I wound up staying for 10. I was like, you know what? I'm staying longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, LA do it to you.
Yeah, man. Great weather, great company. And time of my life, brother. Who knows? Might be back real soon.
Yeah, man. So me and my wife, we love LA. Like that's our place. So we were out there for about 5 days. It's the first time we stepped away from our daughter for that long together. And we had a good time. It's been a minute since just the two of us were able to just really focus on each other, do what we want to do when we want to do it. Every day we woke up and went to this spot called Earth and got some coffee. We're serious coffee drinkers, so we always like to find a new coffee shop. So I went to this spot called Earth and went to another place called Good Boy Bob Coffee out in Santa Monica.
Shout out to Santa Monica.
Yeah, shout out to Santa Monica. And we got some good food, so we just tried different spots out. Hit a rooftop while we were out there. Went to a spot called Rocco's, had some good drinks. That was in Pasadena. I do think that our new favorite spot out there is becoming Pasadena. Last time we visited, our favorite spot was Santa Monica. Sorry, Santa Monica. And I think that it just kind of depends on what we want in that time. And I feel like this time we wanted something a little bit more chill. We were comparing Pasadena to like a Clarendon. There's a bar scene out there, and chill people. Good mix of people are out there, and just energy. People are very friendly there too. What I noticed, and things aren't a rush. Here in DC.
Not a rush at all.
Yeah, in DC,
high strung out here, man.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get to point A to point B. It's quick. Like even if I'm ordering lunch, you better know what you want before you step in that line to order lunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so love LA. Had a good time. Hopefully we'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you liked your first time out there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, great company. Got to move around. Shout out to my shorty.
Yeah, man.
We got to go see a a production that just moved from Broadway right to the theater there.
Nice.
Got to see Hadestown. So it's like I went to a Broadway show practically.
Yeah.
Went to Malibu, went to Santa Monica, went up to Ojai, to a winery up there.
Yeah.
Did so many great things, man. I lost 10 pounds being out there, bro. Just out in that weather, just moving around.
Wow.
Moving and growing. You know what I mean? So
it's a healthy spot. You know, it's a healthy spot as long as you do it right. It can also be pretty toxic out there too. But you got to have the right people around you and, you know, the right energy. Yeah. We actually had a chance to go up to Malibu as well. We hit this winery called Cielo, and just peaceful, man. We were just out there and just walking in the vineyards, and yeah, I mean, I could talk about LA all day. So our goal is to get out there multiple times a year.
And hit the Walk of Fame.
Can't
forget about the Walk of Fame. Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
I liked it, man. I'm just plotting out where I want my star to be, for real.
There you go. There
you know
it
what
is.
I'm saying? So yeah, that was it, bro. So I'm doing good, man. We back to business.
Back at it. We got a couple topics that we want to cover with y'all. You know, it's gonna be hopefully a light show, but every time I say that, it kind of gets a little heavy. So we'll see where things go.
Sure.
So first topic on the list.
Let's tap in.
Pick 3 producers to create your dream project. All right.
That had like a few people listed on it, right?
Yeah.
Are we gonna go with them?
I'll name them, and then if you want to toss somebody else on the list, that's cool.
That works.
We got Dr. Dre, Pharrell, Kanye West, Q-Tip, Metro Boomin, 40, DJ Premier, The Alchemist, RZA, Hit Boy, Madlib. I'm not familiar with Madlib.
Oh yeah, don't say that out loud, brother.
I mean, I'm
we appreciate the honesty. Yeah, Madlib's a legend.
And then Zaytoven.
Okay.
I mean, I might have to I'm familiar with everybody else. Maybe I just need to know like a couple of his songs or something like that.
Yeah, definitely look that up, and then I'm sure you'll be able to come back next episode and talk about what you picked up. Madlib's definitely a legend. So the people that I would pick from that list. Well, you know, it's actually funny. I almost had an opportunity to work with Zaytoven. He and I we're talking back and forth during quarantine about working and collaborating on something, but it just kind of fell through. So maybe in the future at some point. But from that list of people that I would definitely want to rock with is definitely Hit Boy. Hit Boy is running it. Hit Boy, Kanye.
Yeah.
Hit Boy and Kanye. If I'm going to throw some people on that list that aren't there, Quincy Jones. Let's go ahead and get to work. People who aren't necessarily producers but composers. Let's throw Leonard Bernstein in there. I don't know if he's alive. Oh, wait, I think he's not alive.
Yeah, he might be a couple years short.
I'm probably a lot of years short. Okay, yes, I'm Quincy, Hit Boy, Kanye.
Yeah.
I think I'd also want to work with Dark Child. Dark Child. And somebody who's not on the list, who's not alive. If I could just get one more of those. Is it post? How do you say that word? English teacher, English major. Posthumous. Post. When somebody's like
Malone.
You know what I'm talking about, man. Like when they release an album after somebody's passed,
I would have to see
post-humanic.
Hold on. I'm about to help you out, bro. Hold on.
Please.
Post.
It's like HUM. Is it HUM?
HUM.
I'll find it and get back to you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you lost me.
Posthumous. Is it posthumous?
But it's not humorous because that would be, yeah. I guess
we got to hit the dictionary app and then hit the little speaker button so we can hear how it's pronounced correctly. I'm smart.
Hey,
what
man.
What is that from, y'all? I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Not dumb. Smart.
Yeah, this is the right word.
Okay.
Hummus. Yeah, posthumous. Okay.
Posthumous.
Yeah, posthumous. Yeah. Okay.
I struggled so much on trying to figure out what that word is that I don't even remember who the producer was that I was. Jay Dilla. That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Cool. Hold on, let's make sure we're saying it right. Hold on. Posthumous.
Duh, I knew that. Posthumous. Talking about some damn Post Malone.
Posthumous. Pasta hummus.
Post hummus. Pasta hummus is crazy.
Give me some of that post hummus.
Let me some of
on the side.
Oh man, I'm trying to eat healthy. Let me just get the pasta hummus.
Let me get the pasta hummus on the side with a little bit of celery and some carrots. Thank you.
Pasta hummus and some green juice. And we'll be with green juice in the back. I'm dead. Oh man.
Pasta hummus. Posthumous.
Hippopotamus.
Posthumous. That was crazy.
That's the name of the episode is definitely pasta hummus.
Pasta hummus. My dad's definitely calling in the middle of this.
Shout out to your dad, bro.
Of this, and I'm sure he's probably calling about the game.
Man, y'all not looking too good, but I still expect y'all to the Heat to win the East and win the championship.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I think that this will definitely be our hardest series, and I had already called that. So it's all good. I think that it'll be Heat in 6. I feel like we'll shake this game off, go 2-2, and then go ahead and pick things back up and we're in the next 2. For me, I definitely would probably pick Pharrell off this list. I'm just thinking about like me personally as an artist. So I'll pick Pharrell. I'll probably go with Brian Michael Cox.
Great pick.
I think that just classics. He always has a great bridge, and more my style as a producer. And then I'm trying to stick to this list. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would be a good fit. I feel like Kanye could come up with some good stuff.
Undoubtedly.
And
as long as it's not that poop-diddy scoop.
Yeah,
Poop-diddy scoop.
But the beat went.
Blue.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Pharrell and Kanye off this list, and I'm gonna toss in Brian Michael Cox.
I thought Jonta in there too.
Yeah,
Jonta Austin, yeah, because like I said, he did all that music for the show Star. Of course, he had other songs we saw in his verses, but that was some of the greatest TV music I'd ever heard.
We gotta ask this question for writers. We need to get this same question for 3 writers that you'd like to work with.
Okay. Right now?
Maybe we'll do that next.
No, we can save for another one. Okay.
Yeah, in next episode. So this is something I kind of wanted to bring up. So there was a video that we both had pulled up, and it was talking about the difference between a manager versus a road manager and knowing the difference.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the video of GInuwine dancing.
Oh, that's crazy. When he did the pirouette.
I was more interested in the jump split that he did.
Yeah.
Like, remember when you used to watch the Disney Channel and right before you knew a fire movie was coming on, and you see the dudes jumping in the sky, and then the one boy hit the split? That was GInuwine. He thought, and then when he stopped and he posed, GInuwine was like,
yeah, GInuwine was tripping. That wasn't his best moment, but I was happy to see it back on stage.
It wasn't his worst.
Yeah, nah.
Because that performance at TGT when he was
he started twitching.
Hey, GInuwine has a performance when he's in TGT with Tank and Tyrese. And they're performing, they're sitting on stools, they're performing some talk show. And GInuwine is tweaking. He's sitting there, he can't remember any of the lyrics. He's like mouthing the words and he looks out of it. He's sweating. And it's some of the funniest and Tank is just laughing and Tyrese is just looking at him so disappointed. Like no stage presence. They just up there real life. And it's some of the funniest content I've ever seen.
Yeah, TGT is I'm sure they had a lot of crazy moments together.
Had
some good music together though. I gotta
they
give
sure
them
did. They should get it back together. I'm still waiting to hear from that the group The Shy.
Oh.
That you know what I'm talking about?
No, I mean I heard about them. Is that still a real thing?
I thought it was supposed to be, but I haven't seen anything yet. The Shy R&B group. It's just so y'all know, it's Donnell Jones, Dave Hollister, and Carl Thomas
Yeah.
Are supposed to be in a group together.
That's a lot of heavy singing right there.
You think so?
Heavy and yes.
Okay.
I'm not even. Yeah. Yeah.
You sick? I think Donald Jones.
Who's the leader?
Well,
I'm trying to think of which voice would be the leader.
I don't know, but Carl Thomas said, "Look at me, I can't stop crying."
He definitely was crying in the mirror when he sang that part.
Inside my heart, it's slowly dying.
Yeah. Hey, no, hold on. We gotta talk about Carl Thomas real quick.
In the turtleneck.
Carl Thomas got hits.
Turtleneck with the he had the blowout, the curly blowout.
Curly blowout.
Carl Thomas 360 wave in that joint.
Carl Thomas had hits. Carl Thomas, he made R&B singers, look cool, man.
Look cool being you think he made it cool to be vulnerable.
Hold on, I'm gonna say. I mean, but like, he's crooning. That's what a lot of R&B is.
You think he was a crooner? I think he's a great singer. You know who crooned out of that group? Donell Jones is a crooner.
Okay.
That's crooning. No, but Carl Thomas was nice, man.
Yeah, I say that he made R&B singers cool because he wasn't like out here like, half dressed, nothing crazy like that. Like I feel like he just was. We talking about the same artist?
You ain't never seen Carl Thomas with the shirt open?
Shirt open is different.
He said, "I'm emotional."
It was like
arms open.
I guess I'm saying like it was okay to be sensitive in the music. It was okay to like,
Yeah, he definitely brought the sensitivity to it.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like that was more so happening in like R&B before his time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where the singers weren't afraid to be a little vulnerable, cry to the woman and stuff like that.
He was crying.
When Summer Rain came on.
That's my favorite Carl Thomas song.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
That's a hit. So shout out to Carl Thomas.
He was singing, man. Shout out to Carl Thomas. Shout out to Bad Boy. Yeah, that's another product of Bad Boy.
Yeah, I think he was on a good label. They were killing definitely at that time. And speaking of, and we'll get back to the road manager, but since you brought this up, it seems
I wasn't ready to get serious yet.
That's cool. It seems that Diddy is. Let me pull this up. Since we were talking about Bad Boy, so Diddy is starting his own R&B label.
Yeah.
And hold on, here we go. So Diddy's back. It says Diddy partners with Motown Records to launch R&B record label. What do you think about that? How you feeling?
What's the title? What's the title of the label? Is it something like with love? Is it just love?
Yeah, I think it's Love Records or something.
That's Brother Love, man.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I mean, Diddy, obviously, first of all, that's somebody I should have mentioned on that list. I'm tweaking. My bad, Diddy. My bad, Puff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest producers ever. He is that.
Yeah, for sure.
He is that. It's always funny when people talk about when they were talking about like when Versus was at an all-time high and they're like, let's get a Diddy and Dr. Dre. That ain't gonna work. Diddy gonna win that. And I'm not biased because I'm from the East Coast. But he has that ear as one of the greatest producers, like for good music and good arts. I mean, he produced a lot of great talents. Like Bad Boy was an empire. So
and then he's a great, not even like this is not what it's about, but I know when we were coming up, we saw how great of a personality he was, like on television. So, with Making the Band, things like that. So he definitely he had a huge influence on reality television, if y'all remember.
Yeah.
And I think that Dave Chappelle kind of took a twist on it and made it more popular. But if y'all are really watching Making the Band, that show was mad cool. It went on for a lot of years. He produced some really cool groups like Danny D. Kane, Day 26, The Band. I don't think he was on the first Making the Band with Old Town. I don't remember that season, but I think that once he kicked in, we remember historic moments like them walking to get the cheesecake, stuff like that.
I think that
we got a little taste. We got a little taste of how he would run a record label back in the day. Nowadays, not so much probably, but what were you gonna say?
Well, a couple things. I was gonna say I think that show and just other things that I've heard and seen from Diddy over the years just lets me know that about his work ethic, and I can appreciate his work ethic and identify with it. And it always kind of came off as like a lot of the acts would get a little I don't want to say lazy, but it was hard for them to keep up with his work ethic. So that's why things would kind of fall apart. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's just kind of how things were perceived on my end. But I think on making the band, it's crazy for someone to have such an impact on music and on reality TV that. But I think the nastiest part of making the band was when he had them doing an R&B battle, the R&B battle.
They sang End of the Road?
Yeah, one half sang End of the Road. I don't remember what the other guys did, but that R&B freestyle battle is insanity. Nasty. Man, to this day, in the special effects that they used to put on it, like the winners, they would flash yellow or like gold or something. Oh man, that was the insanity right there.
Making the band used to be cool as hell though. I remember sitting there watching it and being like, man, I want to be on this show. And then they did the boy band, R&B boy band with Day 26. And they used to be singing, man. Like they made some good music. Day 26 is still at it. I don't think Danity Kane is still doing it. I know they kind of got the group back together in some way, shape, or form. I know Dawn Rashard is, a solo artist, and she was in
Dirty Money.
Dirty Money. So I mean, these artists are, still at it. This isn't something that just was like a quick boom and that's it. I'm not sure about anybody from the band though. Have you heard any updates on anybody else from the band?
No, I mean, throughout the years, I would hear people occasionally trying to drop records and stuff like that, but they never really caught on. But no, that Dirty Money group with Diddy, Dawn, and I can't remember the other lady's name was. That's one of my favorite albums. That Diddy Dirty Money album. I wish they dropped another one. Yeah. That album was great. Like that was a well-produced album. I still listen to it to this day. And Danity Kane, I wish they kept going. They came out during the time when girl groups really popping. Like we've had this discussion before. When I get into my producer brain and we went and we compared the music and the trajectory of Danity Kane's career to the Pussycat Dolls and the similarities between the songs and things like that and the style. They were it. If they would have came out today, they would still be moving. They'd be like a Little Mix. They would have been like honestly groups like Little Mix and Fifth Harmony and all, like their structure is very similar to that of Danity Kane and Pussycat Dolls. So there's a template to it. So I think the only like girl group or duo that doesn't have a template that I can remember that they would be following would be that of Halle and Chloe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Danity Kane was probably my favorite group out of the Making the Band groups. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah,
I think Danity Kane was definitely the strongest group. Was the most star potential,
most marketable too.
Most marketable, probably the best music
for sure. It's not close.
But Day 26 was rocking for a minute too.
They were definitely a random group of guys.
Random group of guys. And I think that that was, with the boy band movement, it was kind of cool to see how we each got to know them individually and they kind of had their own role in the groups and stuff like that. So I'm personally excited for Diddy coming back and starting an R&B label. I think it should be good. I'm curious to know what type of R&B he's going to create though, because
it's a different time.
Yeah, different time. I'm curious I don't know that he's worked with any artists in present day who's making R&B. So I want to know if he's going to try to kind of bring back some old sounds, if he's going to be current with today's R&B. And today's R&B is a different sound. It's a different structure. And
it has more subgenres that are acceptable than ever before. I don't know if these genres didn't exist before, but I think maybe they just weren't the standard, back when R&B was the top genre. So it'd be interesting to see what comes of it. Yeah, someone who I know has their hand on the R&B game right now quietly is Jay-Z and Rock Nation. With having picking up Snow Allegra over there, and then picking up Maida. He's definitely paying attention to that. They still got Justine Skye.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, they definitely the male R&B scene is lacking and very due for somebody to really come out and really sing and really do that. Maybe we'll have to just go ahead and do it, brother. But it's one of those times where the male R&B is not as popping as it could be. Like we don't have like a Luther of this generation. You know what I mean? We don't have those big male voices who are okay with singing. Like we don't have a male version of Adele. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we don't have those kind of things. So it'd be cool for something like that. I think about doing that a lot, actually, just taking like a Luther around, just giving big ballads all the time. You know,
Yeah.
all of these things are very possible. But I'm excited to see what comes next for R&B, and I'm excited to see what Diddy comes up with Love Records. So yeah.
I want to know who he's gonna sign.
Yeah.
I can think of some independent artists that come to mind, and I wonder if he could persuade them to come over to a major label. I think Motown is a good label for it. But I'm just like, Motown has had some, you know, some good R&B. I know Kevin Ross was on Motown for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm
He's over there for a while.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the disconnect is, if there is a disconnect. And maybe Diddy could be the push that's needed for Motown. So I'm sure that was a strategic move for him to go over there, bring some of that tradition back.
Right. I thought the situation with Kevin was he just really wanted to be independent and not have any. I don't know. That's what I was told, but yeah, I don't know. I think when you're referring to like independent artists that Diddy could pull over, were you referring to like people like Avery Wilson or?
No, I was thinking more like Kenyon Dixon or you know, artists like that who I don't necessarily know that I would put Avery in a box of an R&B singer. And only because when he was signed with Clive Davis and like his first big, you know, deal, what they were trying to portray him as is that he was the male Whitney. And I think that Clive was trying to use the same approach, same structure, making him that pop artist who can bounce from, you know, from between like a R&B, urban R&B, pop. So I think that personally, when Avery came off of that and put out an independent EP, he showed that he probably would by choice be an R&B artist. But I'm curious to know if they were to put him back in a major label situation, where the label would take him, because ultimately we know when you're with the major label and you're signed to that, they determine what they want to do with you. So I'm not sure what they would do with him.
I feel like what I've seen from, because I mean, yeah, it was like you're with Clive Davis, and I think he was with Sean Garrett? Yeah. It's like being with such bigwigs like that. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's like, where's the disconnect? Are you willing to trust the people who have done it and who have been pioneers in the game to get you to a certain point and then venture out after? I feel like he didn't really play it along, and now he has no memorable records. You know, we don't know these songs. Yeah, he put out the EP. Do you know those songs? Do you sing them? I do not. I just feel like I wish I don't know him personally, so I can't speak on like maturity or anything like that. But I just feel like I wish he could have just kind of just followed them to see where they would take it. You know what I mean? Because imagine his talent with Diddy. You know what I mean? With Diddy's mind and his experience. But I'm like, at the same time, he's with Clive Davis. You're with Sean Garrett. These people are some of the greatest ever. So I wonder what his career would be like. Because I know he was just like out here. I think he performed at like one of the smokehouses or something like that. But that, in comparison to what he could be,
you said like the smokehouse, like
I think he was at the Ivy City. I think no, the smokehouse, like they smoking the wings in the to cut it out. Not a lot of people perform there. Stop it.
I wasn't expecting you to mention the smokehouse.
No, there's a smokehouse out here in DC.
He just did a Tevin Campbell tribute. We gotta make sure we give him where he at. Don't be trying to put him in no smokehouse and Mama and Pop-Pops.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. You haven't been to the smokehouse. Remember we used to go to Big Chief?
Yes, yeah.
It was over there. Rest in peace to Big Chief. It was over there, Ivy City, that area. There's a smokehouse back there, but they have a lot of performers coming. I think they had like Vivian Green recently. He was there, you know, so like he's doing this, but I feel like his talent is so big that if he would trust in those people who see his potential, the potential it's out of this world. And so people like him and people like Luke James, they're some of the greatest vocalists of our generation, but the music doesn't take off. And I feel like they need to trust in the people who are more skilled at the songwriting.
But that's what I was gonna say. Sometimes, you know, you can be around the most talented, high name, big name people, but if the audience doesn't bite, it doesn't work. And I think that unfortunately, timing factors, what's being put out, things like that, the big ballad that they had for Avery was "If I Have to." I thought that song was a great song. I think that that song, and I'm not, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. I think that if that song would have fallen into the hands of someone else, it would have been a bigger song.
Yeah, it wasn't. That was a miss. And you want to know why that was a miss? Because that song is for a woman. That song was literally the structure of Leona Lewis. You know, that era song. It was that song was late. You know what I'm saying? That structure of the song was late, and it wasn't a song for a man. Yeah. But I understand why they tried it, because they wanted to show off that he had like the falsetto and it was over singing on that joint. Over singing. Which he's also known for. Yeah. So it's just kind of like that wasn't the one. But I don't think timing necessarily is as big of a factor anymore, because when you have the right people pushing you, really the only time it would be what time of year you want to drop something. Because like if you make a big record like an Adele big ballad or something like that, but it's good, you drop it right fall time, right before winter starts, it's fine. They could do that any year. It doesn't matter, because if that was an issue, wait, let me jump in. We wouldn't listen to old school songs, you know what I mean?
So timing, I meant timing, and you're right with the music. Timing in regards to the artist. So introducing a new artist, how you present them, how they come out, what shows are you putting them on to perform, doing things. I'm not sure that the rollout for him was done the best. I remember when he and they tried. Like when he came out with that first song, or whatever, I saw him performing on like the finals for The Voice, and that's cool, right? Like Avery Wilson was on The Voice. Like I don't know that he needed to go back and try to get those same fans that he already had. He was already a huge name, one of the biggest artists to come off of The Voice. Like let's try to get him in different arenas and different spaces. And I think that what they were trying to avoid was having him be a part of a camp. And I think that that's kind of one of the new directions that we're seeing. You just listed a lot of people from Rock Nation who kind of like support each other. They go on tour together. Their names kind of carry, they pick and pull from each other's fan bases. And then now you kind of have a little bit of a camp that everybody belongs to. I think that honestly, that's the missing piece. If Diddy did pick up Avery on this Motown venture, put Avery with some like other big names that are on his level or maybe above or even under or whatever, but they have different followings, and put him in a camp, I think that he'll take off.
So if I'm mentioning how we need men who actually sing in like in R&B, if Diddy was able to pick up Avery and able to pick up Luke James and able to pick up, I'm trying to think of who else ever, and put his resources as far as songwriting and real like in production with them, out of this world.
I think it'd be a takeover.
Out of this world.
I don't know why it hasn't been done yet, but I mean, I think.
But we don't know these people personally, so we don't know how they would approach the artists themselves.
But you know what? Not a shot at the guys. Women don't have to do that. Women are killing. Women are killing. Like they don't even need that right now. Like,
women have been killing since. I think I'm trying to think of when it started, where like the decline of male R&B and the ascension of
rise,
like I can't figure out when it started, but it's crazy. It's crazy, and women are continuing to kill it.
Yeah,
I want women to get back to singing more. Like I feel like they're starting to revert to less singing now, kind of like how a lot of the men are. A lot of like whispering. A lot of people trying to be Janae and they not Janae. Janae started that whole wave of soft singing. That's literally what her voice sounds like, but other people are trying to sound like that now. So it's interesting to hear all that. But I appreciate those who do sing for real and go ham. So
do we have many female artists that are singing nowadays? I mean, I know Jasmine Sullivan kind of comes to mind, but R&B female singers who are singing.
I think Kehlani does her thing.
Kehlani's nice, yeah.
I think what's her name? Money Long.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like Money Long, like the money is long.
Yep. Absolutely, yes, it is. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, it is. I can tell that I'm not personally a fan of the big record, the one that went crazy on TikTok, just because I felt like it was a lot of over singing, trying to make us know that you can sing.
Okay.
But I appreciated, like when I heard it, I was like, okay, I get it. She can sing, and she knows the acrobatics, and she knows how to use her voice and stuff like that. And I get it. Songs like that are for people who aren't musicians to listen to, because they're wowed by the acrobatics and, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for me, being a musician and being someone who can do all the same things, you know, I'm more geared towards the writing and the musicality in that aspect. But I definitely respect her talent, and I can tell that she's out here ready to make some moves. It's crazy that she said she was able to get a feature from Drake years ago, and she didn't because of something with her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know if I would ever tell that story unless I really thought that it was going to turn into a feature today. Like if Drake was going to jump in and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Let's jump on right now.
It might. They might have been.
I hope so.
Something afterwards.
Because if not, we gotta walk that back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Who else do you think?
I was gonna say Pod Squad. If you guys know of any female artists that we're leaving out, let us know. For sure. DM us and we'll make sure we mention them. I'm trying to think. So I know we said Jasmine, we said Money Long, we said Kaylani. I'm always gonna shout out Maida. I think that Maida has an incredible voice. And she's been on an upward hill this past year. It's been really cool to see. And I think that her music is also now going in the direction of her being able to really open up and display her vocal skills. Like she can sing, you know what I mean? So
for sure.
Yes.
Since you introduced her like to us, we watched her right before like the announcement with Rock Nation and stuff like that, and we listened to the EP, and then it's like, oh, she's with Rock Nation now. So it's cool to see her move in that direction. You said you guys were on the show, one of the shows together. Which one?
Yeah, we did The Voice. That's right. I met her. We were both on the show, and yeah, man, this is really kind of cool to see certain artists like her. Another one of the guys who's on The Voice with me, Miles Frost. He's now Michael Jackson on Broadway. So it's really cool to be able to cross paths with such talent. And you saw it before the world got to see it, and then now, you know, these people are doing amazing things, and I'm just, you know, I'm humbled to be able to say that I've been able to cross paths with these people. So hopefully we'll be able to cross paths once again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see. I agree with that for sure, and I'm looking forward to see what comes next for her. I know she dropped some more like another record recently. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what people do. Like I'm ready for talent and great music and songwriting to take the forefront again, as opposed to, you know, like a lot of like gimmicky stuff. I think it's definitely time. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think of any more artists that come to mind. But yeah, well, as we think of them, if we think of them the rest of the episode, we'll bring it back. We'll pull it back in.
For sure. What's next?
But yeah, I am glad that you brought up the story about Money Long. And little extensions of that. Yeah, she pretty much was dating dude. Dude was like, I didn't like that Drake was kind of coming around, pulling up to the studio. Drake wanted to do a feature with her. I think he said for free or something like that. He was willing to do it. She turned him down. The next thing you know, he becomes the biggest artist in the world. And she's not with the guy that she was dating anymore. So I wanted to talk about this. There's a clip of Roddy Ricch doing his biggest song, and he forgot the lyrics to the song. He was performing it.
I got a story about that post too, about something that went down in the comments with me afterwards. But yeah, go ahead. You're asking like how do I feel about that?
I actually didn't. I didn't ask that.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'm messing with you. Yeah, how you feel about that?
It happens.
Yeah,
it absolutely happens. Like 100%. You know how like artists have so many songs.
Yeah.
There's so many songs, and then you factor in, you're trying to remember your lyrics that you wrote. You're trying to follow the music as you hear it, you know, whether it's in your ears or in the monitors or both. And you have an audience in front of you, they're singing the lyrics to you, or they're just staring at you. It's a lot that goes in it. You got the lights. There's a lot that goes into live performing. So this is kind of like, it happens. It's absolutely fine.
So I'm gonna jump in.
Uh-huh.
I think it happens when you get comfortable
and
you don't rehearse. So I don't know Roddy Ricch's tour schedule, if he's performing every single night, every other night. If that is the case, then that's a different story. But if he took maybe a week or two off or whatever the case, a lot of times we get a little comfortable and we feel like, oh, whatever. I've sang the box, I've done that performance of the box multiple times. I got it, no problem. I don't need to rehearse. Rehearsal is very important because it's not always necessarily rehearsing to hit the right notes or whatever. It's you refreshing and getting that muscle back and being stage ready. And I think honestly, just what happened here is that he probably hadn't performed the song in a minute, and the words just slipped his mind. It's been multiple times. Even with rehearsal though, I agree with you. I've gotten on stage and I was like, what's the first word of the song? Before I perform, I gotta like look up the lyrics real quick because it just slips. But yeah, I mean, that's when your fans are there to help you out. They know the words, you know what I mean? And they can kind of get you back on track. He's human. But I'm sure it was an embarrassing moment for him.
Yeah, I don't even know if I don't think it necessarily has to be that embarrassing. It's just, it happens. But I can understand if it is or whatever. That's just, even if you do practice, I think for me, anytime I've ever done a show, no show has ever been like the rehearsal.
Yeah,
ever.
That's true.
Ever. It doesn't matter how hard we practiced, we rehearsed, or if I had a live band or I had background singers or whatever the case is.
My background singers.
Where are my background singers? It has never been like the rehearsal, and it never will be because there's just other factors that go into it. So it's all good. When I saw that post, when I sent it to you, I commented on it, and I was like, I said basically the same thing I'm saying. I was like, oh man, it happens. I was like, you know what? At my last show, I forgot my lyrics briefly in my song, and that's true. Like when I performed My Baby, I forgot the lyrics briefly. No problem. And then some of the trolls came out.
Okay.
And so a bunch of people jumped on me. It was like, yo, no, it was this one main dude. It was like some comedian. He's supposed to be a comedian. And I think, so somebody tagged him first under my comment.
Oh, wow. See, they're instigating.
Yeah, they did that. And I was like thinking in my head, I was like, and then he jumped in and was like, man, how you out here doing shows and I ain't never heard of you? And I was kind of like, and I was just thinking, I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, I don't really know who this person is. So I clicked on his page and I saw he was a comedian. He's doing skits and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. So whoever tagged you they're probably your manager or something like that. And they want to say, hey, here's an opportunity to start something to get people to come to your page and something like that. And I guess that worked because I looked at his page. I mean, I didn't think his skits were funny at all.
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny. So then like he said that, and maybe like then one other two people jumped in, and then people kept going, and then one guy jumped in and was like, well, he must be doing something right because he got girls on his page dancing to his song from TikTok. And I was like, aha, I don't have to say anything because men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, the dude jumped out of nowhere. And I mean, I'm sorry I don't remember his name because I maybe just gave him some quick shine because clearly that's what he was looking for.
Did you take the bait or you left it alone?
I let everybody else talk. Yeah. If anything, it got more publicity to my page because dude was like, he said, well, look, he got the girls dancing to the song right now. Yeah, so I just let it ride. Party girls out right now.
That's the best way. That's the best advice I can take.
And I think I just said LOL thanks to the guy who jumped in and said that, Party girls out right now on all digital streaming platforms. It is my #1 stream song of all time, in a fraction of the time. So we did something right on this side. Thank you very much. To that Mr. Comedian Man, Mr. Funny Man, as Black parents used to say. Your mom ever called you Mr. Funny Man?
Yeah.
My mom used to say, oh, you got jokes, Mr. Funny Man. Go sit down, Mr. Funny Man. When you trying to be cute in front of company. That's what he was trying to do, be cute in front of company.
Trying to be cute, trying to get attention, that's all.
Yeah, that's funny, man. So yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that we're not robots, we're not machines. Things happen. Yeah. But I definitely am an advocate for brushing up, practicing, running through yourself before. Yeah,
get in that dance studio, man, and practice that song in front of that mirror.
Yeah.
Record yourself.
You're never too big to to just get a quick little rehearsal in, whether it's a 10-minute, or even with us as singers, we're fortunate enough to we carry our instrument, right? So we can practice in the car on the way to the performance. We can practice in our head in the backstage while we're waiting. Take advantage of that time.
The work is never done.
It's never done, and
you can always get better.
And I understand that Roddy Ricch is not a singer. I am not a rapper. I think that he's a melodic rapper. So I'm going to go ahead and
melodic
rapper. So I'm gonna go ahead and place him in the realm of being able to rehearse the same way that we do as singers.
I accept that.
So with that being said, I wanted to go back to this manager versus road manager, knowing the difference. So this manager was saying that the road is where it all goes down. And he was kind of breaking down the difference of being a road manager and a manager. Now, in one of our previous episodes, we talked about the importance of a manager and if it's necessary. I think that your take on it was that, you'd probably much rather have an assistant of some sort, someone who can, speedily get back to people when they reach out to you, and speak on your behalf in that way, but not necessarily speak on your behalf, making decisions and stuff like that.
Right.
I discussed the benefits of having a manager and being an artist and being able to have someone who represents you and maybe, have difficult conversations, negotiate certain things, pitch you as the artist, and, you coming off a bit more professional, having that as a person being a little more exclusive, more difficult to reach, instead of having just full access to yourself. Here on this video, the guy just kind of broke down the difference between a manager and a road manager. Essentially, the manager is the person day by day who is setting up meetings for you, checking in with you, seeing what's going on. If you're trying to go to the studio, hitting up the studio, working things out, maybe setting up the payment, getting the dates, getting back to you, so on and so forth. The road manager is the person who is managing everything happening when you're on tour, when you're out on the road, getting the schedule set up, communicating with your background dancers and call times, getting things set up with the band and making sure that they're on stage for sound check, so on and so forth. Have you had a chance to maybe hear stories about the two, encounter anything? What do you feel? Because I think maybe to our listeners, it would be important for us to break down our experiences with this and maybe explain the difference between the two.
Yeah, I've definitely heard stories about two. I've never had to have one. I've never been on that kind of a tour. But I think what would be more beneficial would be definitely a road manager to kind of keep all those things lined up as far as your every performance and your date-to-date kind of movements and where you need to be next and consulting and working with the different venues and things like that. That's different. Those are definitely needed, whether you are a signed artist or an independent artist. That's definitely needed. That's a bit too much. That's out of scope for an artist. Managing the moves you make as an artist, I don't think you necessarily need to have a manager and person that does that for you. I still stand on having an assistant to do it. I mean, not to say if I ever rub shoulders with someone has the reputation of being a great manager and breaking artists in that kind of way, that I wouldn't be open to working with them as in that capacity. But creative control is very big nowadays, so being able to control how you move and when you move is important to me, and where you go creatively, artistically. But the road manager job is out of scope for artists, I think. There are a lot of logistical things and minute details that need to be tapped into, that is somebody's profession, that's their passion to do, so you should let them do that.
Yeah, I agree. So my experience is, I had a chance to get pretty familiar with Brian McKnight's band and manager. And I'm not sure if I told this story already on the pod, but Brian McKnight's one of my favorite artists, and I was really close to meeting him. I went to one of his shows, sitting in the front row, and I was leaving the show, and actually I saw his bass player standing out there, and Perla's go talk. I'm being shy and stuff like that. She's like, no, go talk. And I was actually fresh, I was on The Voice at that time, television wise, because stuff was pre-recorded. And I go up to the bass player, say, hey, you guys were great. He's like, you look familiar. I'm like, actually currently on television. He's like, I thought that was you. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I'm like, oh wow, he watches The Voice. That's pretty cool. He's like, hey, you want to meet the band? So he brought me backstage, met the band, chilled with them, talked to them for a while. Actually became really good friends with his drummer, Greg. But I tell that story because I had the chance to, sit back, have drinks with his manager. And he broke down to me his daily job. And one thing I thought was really cool is that he is Brian McKnight's manager on both sides. So he manages his career on a daily basis. And when they're on the road, he is putting in work and doing things. And I thought that was really cool that he has that type of trust for him. I mean, so much so that he had inners in during his show, and he's the person who is running Brian McKnight's mix. So he is communicating with the sound engineer because he knows how he wants all his stuff to be mixed. And to me, man, like that's the type of support that I want. Yeah, as an artist, like I want a right hand man, somebody who knows what I want to do, what I like when I'm on the road, when I'm at home, whatever the case is. So shout out to his manager, cool dude. And it was just really cool to be able to sit back and like hear stories like that. And for a major artist like Brian McKnight to be able to trust a person on and off the road, they have a personal relationship, of course. I mean, how could you not? So, you know, I know for me, I think that honestly, I would probably want to have my road manager be the same person as my manager. If that person is up to that challenge and able to do it, you know what I mean? Because they can be kind of two different jobs. So yeah,
I like it. Yeah, definitely that last part is important. A lot of times, especially when people have like, you know, never mind. The last part is important because you don't necessarily want to put people in positions where they're not really going to be successful or they don't know anything about the particular role just because of who they are. So really making sure that someone is skilled to perform the task is important. And you're not saying, oh, well, this my man's or whatever, or whoever it is. Even if they're not, if you plan on putting people that you know personally or family or friends into certain positions, make sure you know their work ethic. Because sometimes someone may not be skilled yet in a particular area, but they have the drive and they have the work ethic to learn it. So they have the passion for it. So if they have the passion to learn something, you know that they'll enjoy that work and they'll do it to the best of their ability, then it's okay to bring someone in who's inexperienced because, you know, you'll learn it and figure it out together. But if that's not the case, don't put anybody in a position to be in that much control and have that much influence over your day-to-day affairs, things that are that important to you, if they don't know what they're doing and they're not passionate enough.
I think a good manager, so Brian McKnight's manager's name is Edwin. I think a good manager, he was saying they know when to say, wait, I'm going to make a phone call the artist, have a conversation, and then get back to a person should not be comfortable enough to just make straight up decisions about you without your consent, without having that conversation. And whatever deal or whatever is happening can wait a second before they go and agree to something that you're not cool with, because then they're putting you in situations that you would never agreed to. And now you have to, because, you know, contractually, maybe he gave them a verbal agreement on your behalf or whatever the case is. So yeah, I mean, just be really, really aware if you do pick somebody to represent you. And this could be in different capacities. I mean, if you have an agent, a person who is, you know, booking shows for you and submitting you for things. If you say you're an actor, you know, and your agent is putting you out there for certain roles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of roles you want.
What kind of roles you want, but
what kind of roles you do not want.
And have those conversations, you know what I mean? Like, so they already know, like, what's a absolute heck no for you, you know? And they already know, you're not even gonna hit me up and ask me, hey, you're trying to get you to pull in and do this. Like, but you gotta definitely have that person who knows what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And also they respect you enough to call you and have a conversation with you before they agree to anything on your behalf. So
I like it.
Yeah, man. I think that's all I got for this one. I wanted to mention one thing that I felt like was really nasty.
Oh my God.
Before we get
out of here.
Before we get out of here, you know, I always gotta tell y'all something that's nasty. One thing that's nasty, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. One thing that's really, really nasty, don't do this. Don't do it. When you are getting off the elevator, let the person that's getting off the elevator get off the elevator first. It's nasty for you to walk on the elevator first with your stinking dog and your grandma and yourself, and you're trying to squeeze, and the person trying to squeeze past you, and you're trying to get past you. Oh, excuse me. Let that person off first. Back up. Take a step back. Take a step back. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Step back.
I think to something connected to that is if you're walking in somewhere, walking into a building, and someone is walking out of the building, you let the person walking out of the building go first. Do not make them squeeze and stand right next to you to get in the doorway.
It's nasty.
Cut it out. If you are, and another one, this is the last.
No, get him off. Get him off.
One more. When you cross in the street or you walking down the sidewalk or anywhere, there's a whole lot of walking, big stepping going on.
Big stepping.
If you're a big stepper, you walking down the street, you're a big stepper. You walk
Mr. Morale.
The right side of the street. The right, you walk to the right.
Yep.
If you facing me and you walk to the right, you're gonna be on my left.
That's it.
Walk to the right. There's no reason why if I'm crossing the street, I'm on the crosswalk.
Yeah.
And you walking towards me, you zigzagging on the crosswalk.
It's just, that's what I'm saying, because it's like you've been on the road. Fellas, stop letting your girl walk closest to traffic when you're on the sidewalk. You pull her out. Pull her over.
Pull over. You did it like a Euro step. Like the Euro.
Pull her over. And then you bring it in straight like that. Stop doing this.
Girls should never be walking on the outside of you closest to the street when you're walking on the sidewalk, gentlemen. I shouldn't have to say this to you. I don't want to see it. It's filthy work.
Yep. Somebody right up on that curve, you're going to get hit first.
You got to.
You get hit first. You go first.
You go first.
Take your legs first.
Let the Lord take me now. What movie is that from? Yeah, I don't know. That's from Kingdom Come. Listen. Do not let your girl walk on the outside of the street. Protect that woman.
At all costs. It's nasty if you don't.
And wear your mask.
Wear it.
I'm tired of playing with y'all.
Pull your mask up. That's all
I don't want to see that nose sticking out. I don't want to see it. You breathe in and out. Cover them both.
Yeah.
The nose, both nostrils.
Yeah.
And that mouth.
What it do? Let me see what it.
Insanity. What it's gonna do is be behind that mask. That's what it's gonna do. I'm not playing with y'all, man.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm glad that we're back at it. That's all I had for this one. Definitely some good conversation as usual.
Sure.
I mentioned to you and Derek, I wanna have all of us go to this whiskey spot. Because we want to definitely make sure that with this too, we start introducing some more whiskey to y'all. So of course we got to do our homework. There's a spot 20 minutes away. We're gonna check that out sometime this summer. They have like whiskey flights. It's really cool. And then hopefully we'll learn about some new whiskeys, bring it. But I always ask if you guys definitely have some whiskeys that you suggest.
Hit us try on air.
Yeah. We definitely would love to do that. Hit us up on Instagram, personal or on the Whiskey Wednesday podcast Instagram, and let us know, and we'll try it out. Anything else for you?
I'm good, brother. This has been a great episode. We back.
You back.
Bike.
All right, man. Well, until next time, it's Whiskey Wednesday.
Cheers, brother.
Yep.
Hey, Brandon, pour me another one.